At long last it came back, and you may wonder why am I doing here. Please note that this is the angry anime fan, the despair semi-retired reviewer. And semi-retired does not mean gone completely, it just means not as frequent. But this series is a series I do like to do. At long last, however, as I still don't know if I should review this due to the COPPA laws and all that stuff, this one does, though, put in a nice one spin, which is the fact that at long last, the heartless cyborg is finally back, and he's just as heartless as ever. But the biggest twist, though, is revealed that Sylph, Laguna, and Frill probably, at least for Sylph, Sylph is not her real name. No, we have actually heard her real name before. And actually this makes sense. She had a wind ether gear, but I didn't think that they would like this. So what happens in this one? Well, let's us talk about it. Before the New Year's ended and Crunchyroll did early releases, Rebecca was trapped into a wind sphere of Sylph. Despite even the Happy Blasters or even the ether gear. Also, it's worth noting that I'm beginning to feel a little bit bad that every time Rebecca uses Leaper, her shoes get torn off. I know that is a thing there, but I just wonder, are we always going to see her barefooted all the time? It's actually a little bit of an inconvenient quirk if that always happens. Alas, she cannot break out. She barely gets the connection message to the rest of the gang, where Hermito reveals that Rebecca is gone, but she has given the coordinations. As we're back on the torture chamber, Sister is now having a talk with Maria, the slime, or whatever. I have to say, she, despite being a little glob of slime, Maria, for some reason, feels kind of adorable in here. Yes, when she was in her human form, she looked sexy, but this form looks kind of adorable. I still don't think that she will become an ally, but she is surprisingly, open some sort of Draken. Actually, even revealing the fact that the Elemental 4 are the special forces. So, and here Sister reveals that she did research on Draken and explains his character a little bit. It is true that Draken is a greedy man and someone who hunts things of value. But here's the interesting thing. He only hunts things that are of value with a reason. As Sister best puts it, he may be in the underworld, but there's clearly a method to his madness. If someone owes him money or threatens him and his people, he makes sure they gets what is coming. And that we saw. A guy owed him money, or at least more money, after loaning him after he loaned Draken money, and you know what he did. So it seems to be the fact that he is after Eden no Zero for more than just the fact that it has an ether drive. And here is the most juicy part of it all. While Maria do not reveal that what she doesn't know about it, she does reveal that Drakenjol did talk to Master Noah, as we know, and as soon as Drakenjol did that to Noah, talked, Eden Zero became a goal more than an interest, which means that whatever Master Noah knows of the Eden Zero, it is something that we have to put in mind. It also creates a nice spin back onto Master Noah. Because as we see, he is a corrupted man, especially if he's in the pocket or at least acquainted with the greediest man in the galaxy. But it also begs the question, though, is Master Noah going to become an antagonist now? I know he was going to be an antagonist in the future, but what I mean is, the gang are facing off against Drakenjol right now, and they're either gonna defeat them or they're gonna run away. And the next opponent after that will be Master Noah, so to speak. As we all know, Sister has a grudge against him. Now that she knows that he is involved in this, we just don't know why he's involved in this. Granted, the fact that he said it was pricey to Draken, it may very well be that Master Joa is just a very greedy moneymaker. but he also seems to be a very man who likes to read. So it's very likely that the reason why Drakenjor contacted him is that Master Noah knows things few people do. And that includes the Eden Zero. Granted, we don't know how secret it is. As Shiki and Homera, together with Pino, gets to the place, he says to Rebecca, no, Homera to run with the medicine. But they're of course getting pursued by Sylph. Here's the funny thing though, is that she do not catches them here. Although it may very well be that Shiki actually gravity the wind. I mean, normally that does not work, but hey, that is so amazing. It seems though that Homera manages to escape with the, well, you know, medicine. So maybe Wise can be saved now. As Shiki tries to fight Sylph, although Sylph is having the advantage of dodging. It is worth noting that the mysterious device on her head is still beeping as she suddenly mentions her older brother. And so, after a very long time, he appears again. Similar to the wind. Yes, Sylph had a wind ether gear. So it's no surprise that the elder brother she talked about is Jin. Sylph is Kend, or Klena is her name. Apparently her code name is Sylph, which probably means that none of the Elementals 4 names are Laguna or Sylph. It's just their code names, which probably also implies that none of them are artificial humans after all. However, it's worth noting that while we still cannot forgive Jin for what he does, the fact that he says that I will take care of him still seems to suggest he will be evil. There have been some people who have actually wished that Jin would become an ally. And while I can agree on that, mostly because, well, he has those Gajeel tendencies to him, I still can also say that so far we haven't seen that much redeeming about him. Granted, I didn't see the same. It was the same with Gajeel, so we'll see. The one and only thing that we noticed about Jin that he had emotions of was that he mentioned his sister, Kline, and he worked for the false sister to cure her. However, here, they seem to know each other, so whatever Kleine's condition was, it does not seem to be any physical. Is it something mental? Again, she has a weird device on her head that seems to beep boop every single time. And despite the fact that she calls Jin her older brother, she still insists that her code name is Sylph. So is Jin also a part of the Elemental 4? I mean, granted it's 4, so no, but what exactly did he want the false sister to cure in Klene? So is she brainwashed and crazy by Drakenjor? I mean, it would make sense. Jo seems to be a man like that, but so far, no. So our rematch begins now. Finally, we see Rebecca and Happy again. They have been taken away to a room where they wake up in a bed. Don't worry, they have their clothes on. However, one other man in the room does not have his clothes on, as he's, for some very strange reason, in a bathtub with a rubber ducky as well. Yeah, that guy is Drakenjor. Why he suddenly decides to take a bath right here, I have no idea. But it's probably to emphasize his creepiness level, so to speak. It's also kind of funny and out of character, the fact that a black rubber ducky is in his bathtub. So yeah, even a serious guy like Drakenjor has a rubber ducky. He said he wanted the Eden Zero crew alive, and here's the funny thing, or the scary thing. He knows who Rebecca is. I mean, yes, Rebecca is a beekeeper, but although not so very famous. But it's what he's saying here. The little girl from Master Noah's place, which means that he knows that Rebecca is from that guild, or at least working for that guild, and he knows that she's part of the Eden Zero. This is some insane connections, mind you. Master Noah must be very informative of it all. So why has he taken Rebecca? Is he gonna have his way with her? Again, he is bathing in a bathtub for some very strange reason. And it's kind of terrifying if you ask me. But it really shows just how muscular he really is. He says he's gonna have a chat. What that chat is, we don't know. But it's probably something to do what he really wants Eden Zero. So yeah, a good way to return to the Eden Zero things. I still don't really like the fact that Jin has to still be an enemy. I don't really like that about him. But the fact that Sylph is Claire was something I did not see coming, despite the ether gear of it all. She seems so robotic. But perhaps Wise can be cured now. So yeah, but Rebecca is in trouble. There's no way she can handle Drakenjo by herself, right? So yeah, give me your thoughts if you have any.